Strictly star Bobby Brazier has been called out by a body language expert amid concerns for his partnership with Dianne. The body language expert's comments come after the duo's appearance on It Takes Two earlier this week. Strictly star Bobby Brazier called out Monday night, October 9, saw Bobby and Dianne appear on Strictly to discuss their performance on the show over the weekend. Their samba to Young Hearts Run Free saw them pick up 32 points. However, could there be trouble ahead for the duo? Perhaps, judging by what body language expert Darren Stanton had to say about Bobby's behavior on It Takes Two last night. One of the main things I took from this interview is how Dianne is squashed at the end of the couch, while Bobby was taking up most of the space, Darren said, speaking exclusively to Entertainment Daily on behalf of Betfair Casino. They say the more space a person occupies, the more important they either perceive themselves or want to appear, he said. Strictly Bobby Brazier, too overpowering. Darren then continued, if you look at the dynamic of how much space he's taking up on the TV, he's got his arms laid out, his legs stretched, and he's leaning backwards. These are all statements of saying, look at me, he then continued. Despite appearing animated at the start of the interview, Dianne folded her arms halfway through, and spent the rest of the chat in a fetal position, he then said. It was at this point that Darren made his shock statement. Trouble ahead for Bobby and Dianne. Darren continued, saying, she, Dianne, was leaning forward, her legs were together, and her arms and shoulders were folded in. I think Dianne might potentially find Bobby slightly too overpowering, he then suggested. From his body language, he seems to think a lot of himself. Overall, Bobby seemed a lot more into the interview, hence the contradictory and behavioral differences, Darren then continued. He's making himself super large, and she's making herself super small. There were also a couple of forced smiles in there. Quote,